Peoples, welcome back to Weekly Wass, episode 7, 8 this will be now. On the show today, blood brothers themselves, Josh Tan, Dan Tan.
How's it going, bro?
Monday. Nice to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Obviously, I know a lot of big projects been going on at the minute.
100%, bro.
The big one just dropped, Deji.
Yeah.
You know how many people have messaged me about that? Just random people.
Yeah.
Your boys doing the thing with Deji? I was like, yeah. That's a bit fun.
It baffles us, you know, because it's like we obviously when we're in the process, obviously you're just doing what you do normally.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah. It's just going to work. It's another day at the office for you.
You don't deep it until after.
Yeah.
And things go up and you're like, oh.
You're just like, raw.
What was it like when you put out that first post? How much was the phone's blowing up?
My phone was like, there was like Kylie Jenner in it. I was like, bro, I got to send a notification.
Bro, obviously.
Like, bro, every second.
That is mental. Because it got how many? I was looking at how many what was it? Not subscribers, followers you got. It was rapid.
Well, we launched the page. Obviously, we've been working on Blood Brother for a little minute.
Yeah.
But we launched a new page the day before. No, that morning, it had like 15 or something followers or something like that. We put it on our stories, and then obviously when that post got put up, it went to like 2,000 in a day.
Yeah, it was mad.
I think it had like 100. Well, by the end of the day, we had 330,000 impressions on the page.
That is.
We were just like, what the fuck?
We wrote Instagram. We were trying to click on the insights, and it was just like no data. But I mean, it was just like no impressions, no followers gained, nothing. It was
just too much going on.
Same with the video. So when Deji dropped it on YouTube, in like I think it was the first 10 minutes, it had like 26,000 views, and we were like, oh, it's a bit low for him.
Yeah.
But it had like, what was that, 50,000
likes.
50,000 likes. It was like, that don't add up. So
that really don't add up at all.
So we messaged him and we were like what's going on? He was like, oh, it's when the views are too much for YouTube to catch up. So it was on like 200,000.
Basically, YouTube's thing tries to stop like fake
accounts,
fake views being bought. So they have to kind of verify the views and where they come from. So it's isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's very mad though. But for me, because obviously I know you, I knew you first from college and that, and obviously I know you through Josh and stuff like that. But where did the real the content side of the career begin? Like where did the I know I talked to you before Dan about like where that real hunger came from, but where did what really made you two just get down and be like, we really want to do this? Was there something that came to you? Was there anything like that? Was it just something you've thought about for a long time? Because obviously I know the clothing brand was where it kind of it really started, where I knew it started for you two, and then it's just grown from there. But I was like,
when you were like 15 or 16.
Yeah, I think obviously if we start at the start, we come out of school. The first thing that not many people know, a couple of my old friends will know. We started off painting shoes. I seen this thing in America, and I thought everything that pops in America pops over here. No one had done it yet, and we ended up ordering these fucking paints. Paying like £300 to get shipped over because of all the tax, and we ended up just painting these shoes. It never went anywhere, but it was just me and my best mate at the time started doing that, and then we called that distinct because ink in the name. We changed it to distinct with a K, and the ink was meant to be for the shoes. Then a couple of people messaged us and said oh, you should do some clothes because I don't really want you to paint my shoes, but we want to support you.
Yeah.
So we made a couple of designs. It ended up being the Chinese logo, and that was the direct translation of distinct. Well, it was actually different in Chinese.
But it actually looks like tan,
which
was just coincidence. If you look at the back print, it's like T-A-N.
That's mad.
So anyway, it was we ended up making these clothes, probably putting a couple £100 into it. We just borrowed it from a couple of places because it was just used back then. And, we ended up fucking selling all of them out. Everyone was supporting us. I remember we was dropping them off to people, taking cash. I feel like I was trapping us. Mad. We had this little box. It was filled up with this cash, and then that was the start. When we've always been about different stuff, but that was the first thing where it was this is what we want to do. We want to try more, try and get more out of life. And then from there. that ended up kind of taking off a little bit. We ended up bringing out a few more designs and trying stuff. I remember there was like this pinnacle point on Black Friday where
sold out the whole store.
The whole store sold out. We dropped the prices by like 25% as everyone does, or 50%. I can't remember. The whole thing sold out. We were printing everything.
We were printing everything by hand.
Oh, you do it all by hand?
Yeah, so back then, we were doing it all by hand.
In the shed.
So I remember it was like,
that is mad.
There was like a couple people there, 4 or 5 people, shout out
John was there. John was there bagging.
All night, printing all these clothes and just trying to get them out. And it was mad to think that like there was people on our store, our website, spending their hard-earned cash, all their mum and dads, or whatever, on something that we just created out of nowhere. And that was like the first thing where it was like, we thought about something, we made it happen, and then it came to fruition, and that was like the first taste of it.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. I think that's very, very sick. Because I feel like it's one of them where it's not come from nothing, but you've kind of been like, we want to do this, so we're just going to do it. So that kind of grind has come from early as well. Because how old? You're 2 years older?
Yeah, so I'm 25 then.
Well, I'm 22, but it depends on what.
Yeah, so 2 to 3 years older, and you've always had that. I know you two have always had that close connection as well.
Yeah, but it kind of went away for a while, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah, 100%. Like when he was doing this thing and all that, that's when I came out of college.
Yeah.
And then I was like, do you know what I mean? I didn't really focus on my A-levels.
Yeah.
I was just playing ball.
Yeah, I didn't.
And I was like, well, my results are mad. And I'd already decided I didn't want to go to uni.
Yeah.
Like most of us, I think. So I was like, well, I don't really know what to do. All my P's got cut off from my mum and dad's. As in, they used to pay for my 2 bus passes, everything.
And then that just
completely... And then as soon as I came out of college, it was like, bang. So then I knew I had to go get money.
Yeah.
So I just ended up doing a gap year, which turned into 3 gap years of just working in bars.
Yeah, I forgot you used to work in bars.
Lewis used to work in bars.
Shit, I fully forgot about that. Because that was the first time you and Lewis really worked in a bar as well, wasn't it? Because I know Lewis did it, obviously, at uni as well.
Yeah, then he went
I completely forgot you did that.
So while all that was happening, that's when Distinct was running. And me and Dan were family, but we weren't like what we are now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and then I think, obviously when I got fired from Revs.
You got fired? You get fired from Revs? 3 drinks?
No, I called a customer a C word.
Oh.
But it was justified.
It was justified, it was liable.
He has a very, 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 very long story, but he basically swore loads at me, like most customers do. You've seen it in bars.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's
I
like...
just said one thing back.
And that's it, they're like, we can't. You've got to respect the customer.
Yeah, 100%.
So, fuck the customer. When the customer's a dickhead, they deserve it.
100%. So I got fired and I was like, right, I don't know what I'm going to do now. So I worked at a local pub, and then... Was Distinct still running then?
Well, these times, Distinct, we had to close that down for whatever reason. We parted ways, me and my best friend originally.
We're back though.
Yeah, but and then I think we both ended up getting little jobs on the side.
Yeah.
But we was always trying to do shit. I was always trying to make money on. I'm that kid that was like Googling how to make money everywhere. I found dropshipping before it was even a thing. I had a little go at that. You know what I mean? That's always been my problem. Is starting too many things at once. And now, obviously, growing up a bit, it's kind of like we've got it back on track. But so then
it was like the Instagram like modeling.
Yeah, he started modelling actually from Distinct Day, from just after Distinct. He ended up modelling, and
me and Lewis did that.
He had a little bit.
Yeah.
He ended up modelling, and then from that
grew the Instagram.
Grew his Instagram, and then we ended up getting getting into like the content a little bit more. That was like our first taste of the content.
Yeah, but like in front of the cameras.
Yeah,
never behind it.
And then I think what happened is we had, through a family friend, we ended up getting this job, which we won't go into too much depth about that. But that was, you know what I mean, like at that point in our life we thought it was an L because we joined this company and we fell out with people, whatever. But that was the first taste of content for making money from it. So we were like making content for this company, and we had no idea what we were doing. We just had the passion for it. So we're just picking everything up, YouTubing it, Googling it, and then finessing it. You know what I mean? Like pretending exactly what we knew how to do, and then it just fell into place eventually.
A bit like that guy who comes to board all the time. He's got all the shooting sleeves on. You see him go dunk it, he flops on his back.
Yeah, 100%. But but somehow through willpower we found a way, and it worked. Whatever. We ended up leaving that company because of some madness, and then that was that point where I sat down and me and Josh, I was saying, we can fucking do this ourselves, you know, we don't need anyone, we don't need some company, we don't need, you know, someone to like give us a massive handout. I was like, if we just get our heads down, find a way to get, we had no bread, find a way to get some equipment from somewhere, and just start this journey, things will get, you know, work out for us. Like the universe will make a path.
Literally,
you know what I mean?
I think once they start to find their legs, they just go for themselves a little
100%.
bit. It's a bit like me doing this. Like at the start, I'm kind of like, well, when I tried to start it 3-4 years ago, I literally had a camera, got some microphones, didn't even know the shit worked, didn't even test it. I was like, just sat people, got people, yo, you two come through, yeah, I'll do a recording. Yeah. I've still got it. I might release it one day. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It's awful.
Yeah, that's history though.
There's no, there's
Did you
literally.
see our first video? It's outrageous. Isn't it?
Bro, I think I got it on
Bro,
here.
you did
It's like 5 years ago.
the first music video for Trey, remember?
Oh, was that you?
Bro, this is joke, yeah. And I'll give it to you so you can play a little bit on the screen.
Was it Trey and Jay when they used to do music together?
Yeah, bro. And I had no idea what I was doing. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
What is it? It's TTE, isn't it? Is Trey still doing his music?
No.
It's a shame.
Does everything, you know, property. Yeah, big into his property. And he's very spiritual at the minute. Yeah. Very into his meditating.
But he was good at music, he was talented. I said, in the name, yeah, test.
Oh no.
Centre Market.
Bro, what
the title has test in it.
Like this was, I didn't even know how to upload to YouTube, so I was just uploading it in.
TT Visual.
Oh, I remember this track.
Like dating, isn't it?
Yeah, that's literally it for the whole thing, bro.
I do remember that. I do actually remember that track.
That was the first video, but obviously that was a long time ago. But then from that point, like I was explaining, after that company where we decided that, you know what, we're just gonna fucking do it no matter what.
Yeah.
This is what we want to do.
We
enjoy content, we enjoy people and creativity and loads of things. The biggest thing we enjoyed at the start was the networking.
Yeah.
And that is a single reason. That is a single reason why we are where we are and where we will be in 5 to 10 years. It's the people that we meet every time we go somewhere. We try and we don't try like obviously we just feel like we could
create a good impression.
Good people. But like we always try to leave.
Good impression.
Something that they'll remember us by.
You don't want to do nothing that even slightly tarnish anything.
Because everyone is someone, and I think what people don't realise is the majority of the people that could actually benefit in your life, you won't know who they are.
100%.
So the people that shout the loudest and the most insecure or don't, they're not really about it. Then people that are quiet and people that are at the back of the room, they're watching. And they're the ones that they notice, and they're the ones that give you the opportunities that change your life. They ain't about the fugazi shit, but they're the people. So everywhere you go, or every opportunity you've got, you know, you can even find wisdom in a donkey or whatever the saying is. It's like that everyone has something to give. So no matter where we go or who we work for, whether it's like this tiny little clothing brand or whether it's for this big company, we always try and be consistent and keep the same work ethic and the same, you know, throughout the whole process. Just be true to ourselves. And then that will eventually get us.
It's a brother thing as well. We always we've only just obviously launched Blood Brother Media. But for the whole time we were doing it, we always just got to remember for being them brothers. I feel like they'll be like, well, like after a while they'll be like, if it's not straight away, they'll be like, oh, are you my brothers? And then they remember us. And I just feel, obviously now we're branding it about us as brothers and obviously the other two. Just works, doesn't it?
It's weird. I remember Dad told us something probably a couple of years ago and it baffled our minds. So obviously we have Chinese middle names. My middle name's Young C, is Young Jian. And his middle name describes me, my middle name describes him.
That's so sick.
But we didn't know until probably
sick.
3 years ago, because I think his means courageous and brave, and like I'm normally the one that will like be a little bit braver in certain situations, and his mine says steadfast and true, which is like, do you know what I mean, carries on and that describes him. It's weird.
That is so sick. That is sick from your dad. That is so sick.
Recently, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not even long ago.
Obviously, they gave us that name before we were born, so.
That is so mad. And yeah, the fact that he's done that as well, you've actually turned, like, it describes you two pretty well as well. That is mad.
Each other as well.
Yeah.
Your dad actually patterned that so hard.
It's bonkers.
But then obviously, leading to like, nowadays, when was your first like, big, well not big, what was the one that really got you going with the, obviously I know obviously the one that just dropped is like quite big at the minute, but what was the one that really got you like, this is it now, like what's the one that really got you on track to be like, this is where this is the way we're going?
I think when we actually originally started, we were going for about a month maybe. Got a loan on the equipment from our parents. Basically they knew we never wanted to go to uni. So for them, that was like instead of us going to uni, we'll help you with.
Yeah, that was like your starting block.
Yeah,
that was your starting block. Yeah,
which has obviously been mad. Like we can't be even any more grateful for that. Literally, we were just working with the people that I'd built up with through modelling, like networking with creatives and stuff. We were just doing little things, weren't we? For free, paying our own petrol, our own whatever expenses. Probably about £1,000 in expenses in our first year. And I think people don't really understand that it literally takes that to get to where you are. People just kind of think, oh, we got lucky.
I think it's because people don't really see what happens behind the scenes. It's like people weren't even, like I never knew it, that you lot were making the hoodies and t-shirts in a shed. That's mad. Like people will only see, oh, bringing out guns, they look sick. They don't think about, yo, we spent 6 hours last night till 3 in the morning printing these so you lot can get up tomorrow. That kind of thing.
It was lockdown as well, so we did a month. It was going really well. Bang.
We just started this thing.
Bang.
Lockdown here. It was like, oh my days, like we're not able to go anywhere, we're not able to do anything. We just took out loans for stuff, like all equipment, because we were trying to go in. And then I think you got a message off one of your friends. Shout out to, what's he called? Scott. Shout out to Scott. Scott gave Josh a job. Like in the creative industry, it's a really good community. People give jobs to different people if they rate them, if they can't do them. And he obviously passed him on some work, and that ended up being, we didn't know at the time, but that ended up being the first Wicked and Bad fight. Little Man versus this French guy called Salim. And it wasn't for Little Man, it was for the French guy, right? So we weren't, at that point, we didn't have anything to do with Wicked and Bad.
Yeah.
And we didn't really understand what it was. And he was telling me about dwarves fighting, and I was just like, look, like, we were trying to be serious, and then you come to me with this. But on a real, it's like,
I was like, oh, it's like £300-400, that's like what, £200-300, and you were like, yeah, but it's dwarfs, man.
But this is what I'm saying, is like God works in mysterious ways, and sometimes you can't see the direction you need to go, and you just got to trust that door, even if what's behind it wasn't what you thought it would be, is that it's just another door and then another door, and you're just constantly walking forward, and that's what matters. But so yeah, it ended up being for this French guy. We ended up filming for him, making this like little video, taking some photos, and then the bit that changed it was like we went to the fight, obviously, and when we was there, we started to realise like, okay, this is like going to be something quite big, and obviously we've seen Little Man stuff before, but then we were realising, yo, this is kind of going to go quite far, and that was like our first thing. So we were like, obviously we're filming for this French guy, but we know that at the time Wicked and Bad star guy was Little Man and Bouncer. So we were consciously made an effort to capture content that we know they would like, even though we were making a video for this.
You're making it for them, but you were trying to get their eye by saying, yo, look what we're doing.
So we actually filmed the whole event, and they didn't even have a photographer, so I got all the photos.
So we actually filmed the whole thing, and then I ended up cutting some clips to it, and ended up making like a video that pleased both the parties, if you like. And me and Josh said I remember we were like in a car park or something, we just said to ourselves, like, we just have to make sure we can do a better video
than the people that they're paid for,
than anything's been paid for, and not because like people.
It's not an ego.
Yeah, it's not. It was just like
the opportunity.
We wanted to seize an opportunity.
100%.
We didn't know where things were going to go.
It was like, I don't know, like.
Well, you see them you see it with competition as a way, because they're doing the same thing you're doing, and you want to always be better than the next person. Nothing to doubt anything.
I think it was just about value, really, like, because it, you know, in the creative scene, it's like art. It's subjective. It's an opinion. So when I really clocked was the difference between the creatives that in terms of business that can succeed or get picked up, and the people that give value. Businesses are spending money on things, or whatever it may be as an investment to make money. You're not working for a charity or a non-profit. If you're working for a company, this company is trying to make money.
Yeah.
And somewhere along that line, whether it's brand awareness or sales or whatever it may be, or branding, they are trying to look for people that are offering value. So you have to just take a step back, see it from their eyes. Oh, what is the thing that they want? Okay, well, we realised that they were basically trying to make it look more professional when it was a very hood looking thing. But so like we said, okay, right, we'll shoot slow-mo, we'll make sure we capture it in this way, because I knew that then eventually they would look at it and be like, yeah, that's what we're after, not just some hood-looking video with all these effects and mad shit going on. And then
but the way we bumped into
we bumped into a guy called Alby, and Alby's someone that's like basically literally changed our life and has become like a mentor figure. But we ended up bumping into him in the cafe of the event, and he ended up asking us what we were doing and whatever. And then, you know, a really nice guy was just interested, and I don't know what he saw. He might have saw a bit of like passion or whatever it may be in the way we were speaking, or hunger. Just said, oh cool, like gave his number to one of us or something, and said, oh, we'll speak about some opportunities and whatever. And then from that point we was gassed.
He was everyone thinks like it's Wicked and Bad is like Bouncer. Yeah. But obviously Alby is the
other half.
Oh, okay.
And Alby's background that we didn't know at the time, obviously big in events, runs a lot of the festivals in the UK.
Right.
Just a pioneer.
That's mad.
He's just a pioneer in events and business, and whatever he does, it ends up blowing up. And he's like the business behind the energy drink, and he made all that happen and all that stuff. But at this point, we didn't know that. At that point, we didn't know that. And like I said to you before, the people that can really change your lives.
He wasn't walking around like he was just,
do you know what I mean?
In the background, isn't it?
And you walked into him in a cafe and it just came to fruition like that.
Yeah. And then we ended up driving down to Brighton to meet him and showed him this video in a cafe.
A lot of things happening.
We ended up showing it him, and then he liked it. And
it was weird. He watched the whole thing. It was like 17 minutes.
Yeah,
that's how you know it's serious. Because you know,
some people would just be like,
cool. They'll like have it on and they'll be like, either not concentrate on it or they'll watch a little bit of it. Like, cool. For him to watch the whole thing, he's looking for stuff as well. He's like, alright, what are you doing this? Why are you doing this? He's picking things up. So that shows that he was interested in you man actually doing it as well. It wasn't just doing it for no bullshit.
Yeah, I think as well at the time, like looking back on it now, I realised that, you know, the thing that we've always been able to do in videos is storytell. And right now it's something that I've become really passionate about, even with the latest video. The storytelling, and that was the main bit that I knew I needed to capture. But even back then, I think we did it without realising it. So then when people were looking at it, you're making content, but you're giving an emotion to people. You're giving them a feeling about an event or a moment, or, you know, if they're a part of it, you're giving them a memory. If they're not, you're giving them something. You're giving them a reality of what happened. And I think I got fascinated with the fact that you could change that. Do you know what I mean? Like I can walk into this room now, you know what I mean, and then through the eye of that lens, I can make it look different. Using music and angles and all the different things that come into one finished piece that someone sees that they don't even understand. I can change the perception of it. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what I got hooked on.
I think it's a hard thing to do because obviously I'm trying to like not get into that, but obviously with this I'm trying to do my own stuff and do my own effects. And the way that I do it, all my stuff's very simple at the minute. And then when I see like your stuff, like even the Deji thing, when I see the first view of it when you videoed it, then I see the behind of the way it was videoed. It's the dedication that is put into it and the actual like, what is it? What am I thinking of it? The talent that you actually got to do what you do. Because people don't realise it is a talent. It's a big talent. And you may not realise it when you were 16 or 17, but through the stages in your life and meeting different people, you've realised this is your talent and this is what you're meant to do. And I think with the involvement of like how social media's taken off and even like, just internet in general, I feel like it's fit into your niche so well. And I feel like for you, man, it's just took you to another level. Because I remember literally on your Instagram one day, like you had over 1,000. I was like, and then all of a sudden I went, when did Josh get like 10,000 followers? I was like, what the like it just happened out of nowhere.
That was when social media was early. Like, nowadays 10,000 followers is about 100 followers.
Literally. But I feel like it just, the way it took off for you guys, it was just, and it happened, I think it happened at the right time as well, like you weren't too old, and you weren't too young and naive. You got to the point where you were level-headed enough, and you've been through enough hardship and shit, where you come to the point you're like, alright, this is how we want to do it, this is how we know we want to do it, and we're going to do it together as well. And then launching the Blood Brothers as well, I feel like that's just made the connection even stronger, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the brand, isn't it? That's
the brand is...
We were like we're just two separate entities in terms of we're just working like as, what do you call it? Freelancers.
Yeah.
No, this is more like, it's a limited company, we're registered as a limited
So we've got inside Blood Brothers, me, Josh,
another Josh,
Isaac, and Josh. There's another Josh.
I remember that.
And
both brothers.
Yeah, are they both brothers as well?
Yeah, so two sets of brothers.
Because they were both on the night, weren't they?
Yeah, we're both the same age. Me and Isaac are the same age. Josh is similar age, only by a year. So, and like they're born in the same month. But it's weird, mate. It's weird. And you know what? Then, like, obviously I've got loads of friends, loads of people that inspire me and do different things. But with them, it was really weird. Like every time that we'd like do something together. Or try a project together, or even just chat in general about life, things seem to align.
Yeah.
And it was like, you didn't have to change what you were thinking around certain people, or change how you said something. It would just fit very well.
Yeah.
And then I guess it just happened that we, you know, all did similar things in the same industry.
Yeah.
Now we feel is like, we can go to that next level because we can offer like a one-stop shop. We've got the graphics and the website, the video, the production, and the marketing. And Blood Brother Media is right now, it's about us, but that's just because we understand how to build a brand. People want people need something to see, they need a face, they need something to follow. Yeah. But then eventually it's way bigger than us. Yeah. It's the fact that we can give creatives an opportunity to work with brands because we do the back end and work with them on the macro. Yeah. And they get the opportunities in a fair way because this industry, like any industry, is full of sharks and it's very like carrot in your face and then
selling dreams.
Yeah, and you never actually get to eat it, and it's like so yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like in business, I understand it because it's like if someone's, it's kind of like if I give you a project. You can't do it, but then you go find someone that can do it. Yeah. You're always going to try and make your money in the lines, but we believe that in the long term, in the macro, in 10 years, 15 years, legacy shit, if we treat people right, treat people fair, and give people opportunity, one, people will stay around for longer, they will work harder, they will be more grateful, and it's not going to create any tension. And then for the brands get a better product anyway. So instead of trying to think about fast money or now, we think how can we build something where brands can come to a company and they have something for everything, and they know that the end product is going to be amazing, and it's people that understand. Obviously, we're working on loads of stuff that we can't reveal, but the stuff that we really the main thing is like it's trying to understand that like going back to what we were saying before about business, too many creatives forget that when you go from a hobby of filming something to a job where someone's paying you, they're trying to get something out of it. And too many creatives, I feel like, don't realise that they're trying to get that value, and you have to make it make sense to them. Most people that can give you the serious bag, realistically, don't give a shit what it looks like. They just give a shit whether other people give a shit. Talking about Blood Brother right at the end.
I was saying it's not. We worked out that it's not sustainable to continue doing what we're doing, and wanting to do the stuff we want to do in the future. Obviously, the money and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But us running around and doing all the filming, all the work ourselves. Yeah. That's not business.
It's not realistic.
It's just job. Yeah. So what we worked out is that we need to find people realistically better than us, and pay them to do, the stuff that. You would normally do, and then we're at the top making the big decisions. Maybe we'll get involved in like a big thing, but then you got like Dan said, he wants to give creatives opportunities that we would loved last year, and the right ones, because we've had opportunities where they were amazing, but they caused us so much stick. So it's like we always say, a good opportunity might not be a good opportunity for you. Yeah. So we want to give. Everyone in this industry, they want to work with, celebs, big brands, like nice money. We've worked hard. Yeah. Like people think, oh, this has probably been the best year of your life, but it's probably been the hardest.
Yeah.
In terms of work and like
we've had a busy year as well.
Busy and it's
this is what people don't see. They see some of this shit and they're like, oh right, this guy must have put him on. Don't get me wrong. There's people, like I've said before, there's people been in our lives that have elevated us, given us opportunities. But I don't barely go out clubbing. I think they've been out twice,
or for my birthday,
maybe like twice or something in the past couple of years. Never used to just. Do you know what I mean? Like I've worked, sometimes 18, 19-hour days consecutively. Like one project that we worked in the past was when we shot for AU. I was editing it, and we went up to Liverpool, and basically some stuff happened that the video needed to get out ASAP. So it went from a month to 4 days. Because basically something had to come out. It was like a mini film.
When they released the green watermelon.
Yeah.
When on Ground Daily, it was like 40 minutes long. It was meant to come out in 4 parts of like 10 minutes, and then they changed their mind. They wanted to release the whole thing. And then
I think the whole isn't it only like 10 minutes though? The whole thing in the end.
No, it's like 20.
Oh right, whatever it is. I stayed up for 4 days straight. Was hallucinating, throwing up. To get this thing done. And you know what? No one, apart from the time I put one thing on my story, but that don't really matter. Like I've got whatever, like 1,000 people or whatever. Like all this shit, no one saw this shit that had to happen. And even like the people at the top, they don't really care. They just had that light that it came out, and that was it. And I still remember that feeling like on the 4th day. It was the 3rd day that it was actually finished, but then I had to stay up to drive home, and then. Oh,
so you weren't at home doing it?
No, it was in Liverpool.
So basically,
we went up for a meeting to talk about it, and then in that meeting, that's when everything changed, and they said we need it out in 4 days.
So we had to stay in that office.
So we stayed in an office. Shout out Kay. He looked after us for that 4 days, but it was fucking. It was hard, but you know what? Them points, it's really weird. I like, you listen to David Goggins where he talks about the cookie jar and being able to go into a different place, pull something out and go, you know what, fuck it, I've done that, this is nothing. Yeah. So now when I think about something, I compare it to that 4 days where
you're like,
I can do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I remember driving home after this AU shoot, and I remember, because, the director brought us in, our good friend Frost. He didn't tell me till like I think throughout the project like you're gonna edit it, and we remember driving home and there was 4 different cameras that we'd never used. They were
big cinema
cameras, never used them before. They shot anamorphic, which basically means like super wide. Yeah. And they wanted it vertical. Yeah. So it was like, but then they still wanted everything in frame. And blah, 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 blah. And it was just a load of shit. It was no one's fault. It's just companies wanted something.
It's their specifics.
It was specific, and then it was like loads of different things that happened and gone wrong. Anyway, we'd end up completing it, and then we're here. We got through it, and and then you look back on it, and you're like, without them times, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be
literally
have that like warrior mentality.
I feel like it's one of them. It's like the hardship and the hard work you've actually put in to get where you are. You'll always look back on that and be like, I'm here because of that. Yeah. And people won't even know that or even see that. But the fact of that, you put in them 4 days to do that. People won't even know that. But when they see that, oh yeah, that looks sick. That's the only thing people think about. They don't think of it. They think, oh yeah, this video came out. Oh yeah, looks sick. Who did that? Oh yeah,
yeah. So, but like you say, it's what people don't see which makes the greatness that people do see. Yeah. And there's no shortcut. Sometimes people help you out, sometimes people don't. Whatever, but like you say, you got to be in the right opportunity for luck to find you.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's...
Even with Wicked or Bad, we did 1,000 miles in a week.
Filming. So basically there was meant to be like different fights happening, and so we ended up having to go film with different fighters. So we ended up doing 1,000 miles in a week, travelling and filming and editing in all that week.
That is fucking crazy.
Intense. But so yeah, the point where we're at now is saying that that's not sustainable. Don't get me wrong, you have to do what you have to do at certain points. But is it sustainable to work 18 hours a day running around trying to do everything? It's not. So what we're trying to do now is use what we've learned, what we've earned, and the experience, and try to use our skills that we personally believe that we have into work with brands and work with companies and be able to be the gap between the creatives and them. And then, not necessarily, there's loads of things we want to do, there's loads of things we want to achieve. This is just like
this is the start, really. You think about it right now, you literally, you've done all this hard work, you've got to this point now you're like, right, this is really the start of the journey when you think about it. Because when you look back in 5 years' time, the story will be completely different.
You probably won't even think. Probably start the story from.
Yeah, you probably start the story from now rather than starting it from all this shit before. Don't get me wrong, that'll be stuff you'll look back on and be like, yo, why the fuck did I sit in that office for 4 days doing that? But then you look about what you're going to be in 5 to 10 years, extending on to that, because social media is only get bigger. Everything internet-wise only get bigger. So you're never going to be out of work.
No.
Like there's always a need. The way it's going in the minute as well, there's always going to be a need for content makers, creators, design, everything. So you're never ever going to be, you're fitting into the niche and you're moulding it, and in 10, 15 years time you're talking about your company could be crazy. Crazy.
The other thing that we've really been getting into is like the marketing side of it, which is something that we didn't start off with the intention of or whatever, but we've really always been kind of seeing that the process goes from A to B, and that's it, and then try and work out the things along that line, which are the branding and the way that your company is seen, so like your logo and that kind of stuff, and the creativity behind that, the web and the process in which people buy from you, which is like your website stuff, where people see your stuff and how they see it, the marketing side of it, and how to grow them, and then the product or the video and the production, which is like what they actually see or how to change their perception on something. So if it's a product, like we would do them steps, and we want to be able to have people and do them things along that process. But the marketing side of it is so interesting, the psychology behind it, how people consume content, different platforms, the rise of short form content. Like now you look at TikTok, the rise of it, and all of the others have been forced to adapt. YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, they've had to, we know that they're paying creators to go from TikTok and only make Reels. YouTube Shorts will probably do the same thing in the future. Obviously it's very, very early right now, but the short form content is just like shows exactly the generation we live in. Like we've been consumers, and we want it now, we want it quick. And the fact that you would probably watch more content if you scrolled down 1 minute videos than if you sat down to watch a 15-minute video and then you ended, because there's no end. It's like an endless
keep going
100%. It's like some of the music we listen to when we're editing. I have to put certain music on, so I can't work out how long it's been. And it's the same.
Weird at first,
it's the same with videos. It's like if you don't know when the end is, and there's no end, like a TV show back in the day, and you sit down and watch TV. You had an hour show, you start to finish, and then the program ended, and then your brain has a point at which it's ended. Whereas short form content, there's no end.
It never stops.
And then there's a dopamine, and it's constantly, and then that it's like any other drug. The more you have, the more the body wants it, and then when you come off it or take a break from it, it feels weird. And
how many times do you think you check your phone?
Do you know what? Not as much as other people, probably. Really? I'm one of them. I don't like being on my phone. I can put my phone down and not be on my phone for 2-3 hours. But the problem is that I'll put my phone down, but then I'll also be editing or playing a game. So I'm always looking at stuff anyway, always on screens, always consuming.
I think that there's no problem in the amount of time, it's the intent. So if you have I genuinely believe 98% of people online on social media are consumers. So they consume content, they consume adverts, they pay for things, they're just there to consume. It's like entertainment. Which is, that whole drug thing. If you're on it with the intent that you are, researching, you are trying to work out how things work, trying to open your mind up to stuff. It don't matter if you've been on your phone for 18 hours, if you were 18 hours of value. You know what I mean? So I think people get caught up in how long you spend on your phone. No, it's your intent. What's your intent in that day in your life? Like, if you're blaming it on these mobile phone devices, it's not that. It's the people that, aren't making the decision to say, you know what, today I'm going to achieve this.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So we spend a lot of time on our phones, but
it's work.
Yeah,
it's like the only time I really spend on my phone is if someone's ringing me. I'm either answering a message. I'm in fucking so many group chats, or I'm doing stuff. I'm trying to do stuff for this. I'm uploading on my stories. One thing I need to get better at uploading on my stories, but message for another day. But that's the only real time I really spend on my phone.
Yeah.
I hate being on my phone. I'm one of them people I actually hate. You know, people ring me, it fucking angers me. It actually makes me
when
angry.
you text them and then they instantly ring you. Like,
yeah, oh my god. But yeah,
with the whole texting, because I probably spend 8-9 hours on WhatsApp.
Yeah,
replying to people, doing business, phone calls, group chats, like you say. But sometimes I think it's better to have phone calls about certain things because people text that whole crazy shit, like that whole message where it's like you could have rang me and then I can't work out your tonality, I can't work out your
tone, or how you're saying
or anything. So like I think texting and whatever should be kept purely to informational or quick.
Yeah, quick. You don't need no big paragraphs. If you're gonna do that, ring me. Yeah. It annoys me though because there's that other side. So you've got the side where you set a long text and you're like, you should have rang me, or you get the one where you get a phone call and they're like, I tell you something. A minute comment, I'm like, why did you just text me this shit? Text me this. We could have this conversation. Little things like that that does anger me. So I hate people calling me and it's a minute conversation. I'm like, there was no need for it. I didn't need this.
It's a voice note. I love
I do like a voice note. I do like a voice note. They're better. They are better than.
It's awkward when people like you send a voice note and they're not really on the voice note thing.
Yeah.
So they just keep sending messages back.
Yeah. See, if it's only quick ones, like I messaged EJ earlier on about something. And I sent him a message, and his thing was a bit long to say, so he sent me a voice note, but then I just messaged back like, alright, send me this. He's like, yeah, cool. Because that was, sometimes when you're trying to have a conversation like that, and it's just a long voice note, and then someone sends out a long ass text, and you've got to read the text, and then you've got to...
multiple voice notes.
Yeah.
When you're trying to record yours, you've got to try and remember what they've said in...
And you have to keep going back.
One second, I'm just going to go back.
Oh, you do the whole voice note, it's not recording, and then you just yeah, bro. Instead...
We need business phones, don't we?
Yeah.
We've been saying that for ages. One of our problems is
because your actual personal phone is your business.
Yeah, because of the industry we're in, people think that we're accessible. I'll be honest with you, 24/7. Like we've had people call it 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, want things done there and then.
Yeah.
And it's like I can't go on my phone to do just be on my phone.
You can't go without personal life
without people thinking, oh, he's on his phone, he has to reply to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a business phone would be a good idea. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Because what's your opinion on uni?
Uni?
Yeah.
What aspect?
So, like from an outside point of view, whether you've been or not, or you know people that have gone or not, from the actual structure of how uni works in our society, and the way it's set up in this country, like, what's your general opinion on it?
I think it's good if you are 100% sure you've got a profession you 100% want to go into and that is your main focus in life. I didn't go for that. I went uni because I wanted to play ball and I wanted to chill with my brethrens. So for me, the social side, but that's the thing now, there is more of a social side uni that people go for. Because don't get me wrong, the actual degree side, a lot of people do go for. Because I got a degree now, I'm like, cool. I went back and finished just so I've got a degree. Cool. Do I think I needed the degree? At the point I was at, yes, because I wanted a better job. But people are like, I haven't really gone into my field. I did PE, and I'm not doing anything really with PE. I'm mentoring, so it's completely different. But then you've got people like I know a girl at uni, and she did business management, and now she's working for Rolls Royce. So she's kind of moved into that the right way. But then I think there's people, at least I know a lot of people that went to uni, and they're like, what are you here for? Oh, just a social. Like they'll just go out drinking 5 times a week.
That's what everyone else does.
Yeah, drinking 5 times a week. And coming out with like
I personally believe that we would have better results as if you were forced to have a gap between A levels or college or sixth form, whatever it is, and uni. Because that I feel like, just my personal opinion, is that people go because they don't know what. And any decision you make in life where it's because you didn't know and you just did it because to filter out in life,
fit in as well. All your friends are going to uni.
Because I feel like by the time you know, like some people never, like the first time they get out of education, is when they get that job, right?
Yeah.
Then there's like, it's like that pinnacle point where it's like you work so hard your life, you get you get this job, and you're like, amazing, right now life's gonna get easier.
Yeah.
And they never take some time out to have any perspective on anything.
Yeah.
Any hardship, try different things, and all this kind of stuff. If people took a little bit of time out before, and I know obviously people take gap years, but do they, in that gap year, are they actually trying shit?
Yeah.
Or are they just chilling?
They just
being
like,
oh, I'm taking a gap year.
Yeah.
I know some people travel, which is great, I think, seeing the world, but I mean a conscious decision to say, you know what, I'm going to see both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Let me go try this job or work this thing or do whatever, or see what else there is for me.
Yeah. A lot of people do take gap years and do not a lot with them.
Yeah, my first gap year I did not.
And I do think that university, as much as, don't get me wrong, I think it's a good thing to go if you want to do something. It's in the UK, it's pushed a lot.
A lot.
When we were in college, in your last year of college, it is literally like UCAS. You're like,
but then as soon as they found out, because I literally told them, I was like, I'm not going to uni. And then they just left me alone.
Yeah.
As in, like, disowned you.
Yeah.
The government will give you bread to go to uni, a significant amount of bread to go to uni, not monitor the quality of what you're learning.
Oh, no.
Yeah?
No.
So, and then, but will they give you a business loan? How much? What's the barriers to entry? They won't give me a business loan for £100,000 unless I can physically prove, and I've got all these backings and I've got like all this stuff. But they'll give someone 100 bags to go do a master's degree, come out and then go work in a leisure centre. You know what I mean? Like, no, but on a real though.
No, you're right. No, you are 100% right.
Like, what's the
Because uni's a business. It's
it
a profit.
Is. Well, it is. When you think about how many people like student loans, and the thing is as well is that people go. You're doing your fresh 18-year-olds, and you get obviously your uni gets paid for it. You don't see that money.
Yeah.
I've seen people get 9 bags dropped on them, or they get it in 3 songs, so you get 4 grand dropped on you. Not 4 bags, 4 grand dropped on you. 18 years of age. Eyes go wide.
Yeah.
One guy I knew got his money, spent all of it. Crepes. Pure crepes.
It doesn't surprise me, bro, at all. It doesn't surprise me because people, again, why aren't we teaching financial literacy in school? It's just as important as all the other fucking shit that they try and do. Do you know what? People will learn more. People will learn more.
Stupid.
Financial literacy with a bit of maths than they will just maths.
Yeah. I think it's stupid as well. Like the financial literacy, you should be learning shit like that. But up until probably a year ago, I had no idea what the fuck a mortgage was. I've been through probate when my dad died. What the fuck is probate? What is this? I don't know. Like before I wanted a loan, I don't know how to thingy a loan. I don't know how to apply for a loan.
About credit.
I don't know nothing about credit. I can't even get a fucking phone contract in my name and I own my house.
Yeah, it's bonkers, mate. It's bonkers. It's like people. Like I've only really kind of seen certain things because I was just curious online, just searching and watching stuff. But it's mainly the people that have been there and done it. They'll tell you, actually, you can do this and you can put that there and you can swing that around this and then they give you the little tip. But why? It asks, and the only reason I can come to the thing, and some people will say it's conspiracy theories or whatever it is, it fits the narrative of controlling populations.
100%.
If they can't control you, they can't control their agenda or whatever it may be. Whatever that agenda is, that's for you to decide. But no one can say that you're not in a path that's controlled.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like there's a certain happy family life that they all want to promote as well. Like it's school, college, uni, work, have a family, and that's kind of like what everyone.
And then die.
Yeah. And you think about that. Imagine. It annoys me when people. There's a lot of obviously old people like my dad never went to uni or nothing like that. But you think certain people like that they'll live their life and then just work literally till you die, and that is literally it. You might retire for the last 10, 15 years of your life.
Yeah, and the government, they give you that pension, but they're just literally. How do you explain it? A pension is just the government betting that you're going to die before they have to give you the money.
That is so mad. That is actually crazy. That's
why they keep upping the age, because as the technology increases, medicine increases, and our health live longer. They're like, we're having to pay out more money.
It's always a risk. Everything in life is a gamble and a risk and a bet. Like when you take, yes, the law says you have to have car insurance, but let's say you get certain insurance on something, you're just basically saying that you think they're betting you that you're not going to, on a probability scale, take a claim against that thing, and you've basically just paid for the safety of something. You've not actually paid for something that's happened.
Yeah.
You're paying for something that if it happens.
Yeah.
However, why do people not have the same mindset when it comes to investing in themselves? They say, okay, well, if I'll take that bet. You know what I mean? That my probability on that bet is a lot less. Like I put something on my story from the other day from when I posted in 2018 about the odds of 290 million to win the lottery.
Yeah.
1 in 10 businesses work or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And it's like, why don't people see that? Is because the content that we're pushed or forced or consumed fits a narrative.
Yeah.
And if you want any different, you have to go and search for it.
Yeah.
You have to go and find out. And look, the thing is, we can argue all day about what the government do and what they do, but the matter of fact is, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Like, we could say whatever we want. Like, look, some of the biggest people, most influential people in the world have spoken up about stuff. Never changes. So it doesn't matter. All you have to say is, cool, I'm aware of it, but I'm not going to be
you're not really susceptible to
I'm not going to be a victim of it. I'm deciding right now that there is a choice.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go out and find out and start that journey.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And even if you end up going and then becoming, 45, you've got kids and a wife and you're working a job and you're happy, at least you knew that you chose because you saw the other side.
Yeah.
And you said, you know what, I tried that, I tried this. And not just, people say they've tried, how many people I've come up to and gone, bro, you can really do this business, if you just put this there and do this there, and they go, yeah, I know, I've tried. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Like you did an hour and a half and then shut your laptop.
It'd be like if you gave up on your podcast now.
Like now.
Like,
oh yeah.
Oh, I've tried.
And then you go up to people and you go, podcasts don't work. Like, bro, but some people do that in the life.
It's easier to
then actually achieve it.
It's easier to actually be like, I can't do this, rather than actually give your full effort and go for it.
But you know what? On that topic, on the converse, something that I was reading about Stephen Bartlett recently quit his company. I think they're doing like 500-600 million a year. Quit it, and he was talking about that it's actually learning to quit at the right times on the right things.
Yeah.
It's harder than starting things.
Yeah.
And he was saying that people look down on this whole quitting thing, and he was like, he's only got to the point he's got to by quitting. Sounds weird, sounds controversial to your brain, but when you think about it, knowing when to stop something, but if you've got another path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes some people get too stuck, they're like, I can't stop this now. So we need a good balance of promoting people learning and trying new things, but at the same time promoting it's alright to change.
Yeah.
It's alright to stop and try something else.
I think change isn't pushed enough. I think there's too much comfortability that they want in life. There's not enough if you want this, go and get it.
Yeah.
If you want that, you could, but think about it, you could just have this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they don't really want to. They don't want people. You're right. They don't want people to not fit into the narrative.
Yeah.
They want everyone on that path. It's like Marvel at the minute. It's on there's bare multiverses you can go into and live your own life, but they want you on that sacred timeline at all costs. They want you on that. You lead this path because enough people lead that path. I went for my COVID jab today.
Yeah.
The amount of people that are like. As much as I went for it because I got pestered to be honest, it was not like I'm not really bothered. I don't think I'll get it anyway. But people that are like, oh my god, like there's one guy today. This was mad. We were in the thing and I was waiting afterwards. You have to wait 15 minutes. And there was a guy next to me, and he wanted. So they were giving out the Metroderma. I don't even know what it is. I don't know the difference. And this guy wanted the Pfizer. Like he was like, I'm getting the Pfizer. I'm getting the Pfizer. And they were like, oh, well, we don't have it. And then he started, there was, all the people working there were Chinese. And he was like, get me someone else, I can't understand this. I'm like, bro, what's your problem? Like, what is your problem?
That's crazy.
It's just fucking mad. And the way people react...
People feel entitled to anything.
Literally,
everything these days. I don't know what's the change that's made people feel entitled, whether it's the internet or whatever it is. But some people, I don't know, I ain't got time for it.
Some girls, the entitlement. Did you see that thing that I put on my story the other day when someone was like, oh, how much should a guy like budget for his girlfriend? And then someone replied like, oh, I'd say, about 20%.
What?
She was like, so if you make, 20k, then that's a nice 5. What, 20k a month, that's a nice 5 for me, for dates, a little treat, and I was like, bro, get your own bread. Like, that's mad. Like, that's mad entitlement.
Do you think it's weird as well? Like, we're in an era where a lot of girls are promoting strong women, but there's also a lot of girls that would love just to not do anything at the same time. Like, they love that life, that cushy life, where they pay...
with like a pretty privilege.
Yeah, pretty privilege. Literally, like that.
I'd say it's like... people push for equality until it's inconvenient. Equality is not not a 65% thing.
Yeah.
We're talking about 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, as in, you know what, I'm going to carry this side of the table, you carry that side. But when it comes heavy for you can't just say I'll drop it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not how equality works. So obviously I don't want to get too much into
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't over promote something. Like, I feel like sometimes people take an inch and run a mile with it. So anything that starts off with good intentions, the charities, the movements, you know, they start off with good intentions by people that want to see some kind of change, and then tyrannical people take it and fucking turn it into a thing where it's now a competition to be better than that other thing.
Yeah, I think that's one thing as well as pushed about competition in everything. You can't just live life and have like fun with it. Everything has to be 100%. Everything has to be competition.
Only because we're now in the generation, and I dread to think what it's like the generation coming after us and the one then. But they've literally, well, most of us as well grew up in a generation of comparisons. You go on your phone every day and it's just like, if you're in a relationship, there's thousands of other like potentials, and then this person's just got this new job, this person's just got this new car, this person's on this holiday. They're probably posting a holiday pic from like 6 months ago, and they're sat in their home watching Netflix.
Literally.
But you think they're living the best life, and then you compare it to yourself, and you're like, and it's like, people seem to think that if you're not rich and successful by 25, you're a loser. Like, I turned 25 this year, and this is when our stuff is just kicking off.
I feel like we will progress further as a generation if we promote posting our L's. People will be more likely to try things and start things if they see other people have failed, and it's fine.